Today we're here at Heritage Park in San Marcos with Tanis Brown from the Historical Society. So Tanis, I've been to this park many times with my daughter at the playground, and I often wondered about these beautiful historic buildings that are here. Why are they here?
Well, the city had some foresight in establishing a heritage park in 2005 when the city expanded Walnut Grove Park. We already had two houses that were sitting on the property that at one point had possibly been destroyed but were saved by the Historical Society. Later on, we added two other buildings to Heritage Park and established it in 2005. So now we have four buildings. We have a Welcome Center, the Mary Y. Connors Hall built in 1940, and the two historic houses. So together, they really make a nice chronological history of San Marcos.
You were telling me we're in the Cox House, built in 1888, you said, just down the road, not too far from here, is that right?
Actually, the Cox House was built at the top of the hill to take advantage of the cool breezes. So it has a lot of windows and a beautiful 360 view of the Twin Oaks Valley.
Wow.
Yes, very nice.
What was life like back then?
Well, back in 1888, there wasn't water in the valley. And so all the homeowners had to have well water and find a well. There wasn't any electricity early on, and so lighting was done by candle, and
No microwaves?
people went to bed early, and absolutely no microwaves in the outhouse back in the backyard.
Yeah, I'm sure. Washboards, I'm sure, for the clothes, and a very different time.
Many inconveniences in the day.
Now, what did they do as a family in terms of making a living?
Well, the Cox family actually had a dairy. There were a lot of cows out here, a lot of grazing property out here in Twin Oaks Valley. They also raised chickens and had chickens, and then the Cox family sold their milk and eggs here in the valley.
And who built the house?
Well, this house was built by Jacob Uhland in 1888. Jacob Uhland originally came to Twin Oaks looking for work and was hired by Major Gustavus Merriam, the first homesteader in San Marcos. A little bit later on, it was discovered that Jacob was quite the home builder, and he not only built the Cox house here, but he also built the Bidwell house next door.
The one that's next
that
door,
has
yeah.
also been moved here from down the road.
So driving in, I also noticed the old red barn, and I was talking to you, and you were saying that it was a dance hall, but that had a very unusual history.
Fred Williams was the owner of the Firestone Filling Station at Twin Oaks Valley Road and Mission Road, and he decided that he wanted to build a square dance facility for the city. And when he went to apply for a loan, he wasn't given a loan. It was shortly after the war, and most loans were given out for work purposes. So he decided to apply for a loan to build a barn, which he did. The exterior is a barn, but the inside of that barn is a pecan wood floor, and it's never been used for anything but dancing and parties.
So he pulled a little fast one
He sure did.
back then. Smart man. Could not get away with that these days,
I
I'm
don't think
guessing.
so.
And they still use it, I think, don't they?
They sure do.
Yeah.
The city was in quite an uproar when the barn was going to be destroyed to build City Hall, and so it was moved out here much earlier than Heritage Park.
And what exactly do you do at the park with these old buildings?
Well, the San Marcos Historical Society has several programs that we do. We have a really nice research library that has over 1,500 photographs. We also have early documents from the early families. We have some archives, and we also have artifacts from the early years that we've put in the houses or in the museum. So the Heritage Park kind of tells the story of what history was like here in San Marcos, from the early agriculture days to some earlier businesses, some of the things that happened not only in Twin Oaks Valley, but Richland and in early Barham City as well.
So what else do you do as a historical society?
Well, maintaining Heritage Park is a pretty big deal. We're a 100% volunteer organization, so we are responsible for the maintenance of the two houses, the two historical houses. So there's always something to be done in the houses. And then we also do group tours. We have docents that take people through the museum and walk them through the houses. We do special events. We just had a photo exhibit in our Welcome Center just a couple weeks ago. So we're always busy doing something.
Well, you're doing a great job. You can really feel the history when you walk in these buildings, and I appreciate you telling us a little bit about it.
I'm glad you had a good time, and next time bring your daughter.
I will. I think she'll enjoy it.
Thank you.